We all know about the migrant, or maybe you don't. I'll bring you back guys up to speed. We all know about the migrant from Guatemala. Several different news outlets failed to bring this to light. They didn't even mention it inside of their reports when they reported on the news. I don't know why. I don't know if they still trying to protect the Democratic Party. I don't know if they don't want to hang this rap sheet on Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. But the person that set the woman on fire inside a New York City subway was an illegal migrant. They were here illegally. It is confirmed. They were here illegally from Guatemala. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We're going to get into this, y'all.
A man suspected of setting a woman on fire on a New York City subway is facing murder and arson charges. That's as we learn new details about the suspect in custody. That's him right there, leaving court just in the last hour or so. This video just in. ICE saying in a statement the man is a Guatemalan citizen who appears to have entered the country illegally for a second time. And police say a woman sleeping on the F train, back to the crime here, was brutally murdered by that suspect. Graphic video capturing the moment it happened. We're going to show it to you. But we want to warn you, if you can give you a chance to turn away.
Hold on. I'm not sure I want to play that part. I genuinely don't want to play that part. I'm going to skip over that part because I don't like to desensitize myself. Shout out to Artifacts. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. It's certain things that I won't watch. Even though, I know most people can't turn away. They got to see it. They want to see it and all of that. Certain things I just don't want to watch. I still want to have a jumping response when I see certain things happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be desensitized. I don't want to see nobody burning up. I didn't even know that they was going to show this, but I can't. Keon Francis says, show it. No, you can go and Google it yourself and go find it yourself if that's what you want to see. I'm not here to show grisly moments. I'm here to have a conversation about illegal migrants into this country.
The suspect in that horrendous crime on the New York City subway. ICE today, that's Immigration and Customs Enforcement, saying the suspect in this case is a 33-year-old Guatemalan man by the name of Sebastian Zapata, who they say entered the country illegally and was removed by ICE in 2018. But that at some point in time, he crossed back into the country illegally in violation of that deportation order. It's not clear where else he's been in the United States.
Let's back up for a minute. He was deported out of the country in 2018. Guess whose administration got him up out of here? Let me say that again. He was deported. Shout out to my dog, Ray Sean. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. I gotta get to that in a minute. I got you, Ray Sean. You my guy. He was deported out of the country illegally, or from being illegal in this country, in 2018. That means when Trump was in office, he was protecting citizens. He was protecting people from people that wasn't supposed to be here in the first place. He came back during the Biden administration. He came back during Biden's administration. And he said, we back. Time to burn some people up on the subway in New York City. And then you know what the worst part about it is? He went out after he get off the train car and he sits down and he watches the person, according to the reports, he watches the person on fire before getting up and walking away.
New York Police Department says they also don't believe that there was a connection between the suspect and the victim, but that it's not clear that he so much as talked to the victim. The NYPD said that they had a pretty clear description of him. They were able to see him so well because of the surveillance videos that were around the F train at the time, which shows him just right outside of the train watching this horrendous crime take place, and that the police were able to come down.
First time that he did it, it ain't. Criminal Minds and Mind Hunters told me that first they start off small. They might do a small little animal, a mouse or something like that, and then they start to work their way up. They might do a cat or a dog or something, or, do a couple little heinous crimes. And he may have even gotten away with something a little bit less heinous. And then eventually they work their way up until doing it to humans. And that's why he didn't have no kind of response, and he watched it burn, and then he walked away like it wasn't a big deal.
But it was before it was too late for this woman because they smelled smoke. So in the meantime, ICE has issued a detainer to the NYPD so that whenever this suspect is finished with his time in the process, even if that's after a sentencing for homicide and arson, they could then take custody of him and deport him.
Again, Crystal McQueen says, I saw the uncensored video and I wish I didn't. I'm glad that I didn't. I don't always have to see it for myself. I don't always have to see it. It ain't always got to be right in front of my face. I'm cool. Just tell me what the details are. I knew we should have had these people deported and not in here in the first place. And again, I think that this absolutely hangs on the heads of our current administration that is in office right now and has become so valuable because not only are they leaving our borders open, I'm going to let Tom Homan tell it in a minute after this video. Not only are they leaving our borders open, we have Democrats still in office, including Eric Adams, because Eric Adams will sit here with his chameleon behind and say, oh no, we need to get these people that are doing the worst crimes out of here. Well, the problem is that they already here and we should not be waiting for them to do a crime before we get them up out of here. That's the whole reason why we got our borders closed off, is that it's supposed to be illegal. It's laws on the books to prevent people from coming over here illegally, and it's for a reason. It's because we need to vet them to find out who they are before they get here. It's a reason why we have structure and laws in place. But Eric Adams will act like he's actually working with the border czar, and he'll say, oh, no. I'm really for making sure that New York citizens are safe. It's too late once they torch somebody. Now we want to deport him. He was already deported before he got here. He came back over here and y'all let him in. Y'all gave him food. Y'all gave him a food card. Y'all basically harboring criminals. You're harboring fugitives. He was deported. He came back. He caught a bus ride up to New York City because he wasn't vetted. The Biden administration sued Texas in order to continue to keep their borders open. And then he came up here. He got free hotel stays. Y'all fed him. Y'all clothed him. Y'all gave him clothes and shoes. Y'all told him that everything was going to be fine, and we know that you're a good person, and he torched somebody on the train. Now, who is responsible for that? And the price of the brick is going up too.
New exclusive videos show the Texas Department of Public Safety catching suspected smugglers among the latest apprehension of illegal immigrants.
Look at these people.
Hey, get out of the vehicle! Hey, get out of the vehicle! Get out of the vehicle! Get out of the vehicle! Get out! Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for human smuggling.
That came after DPS found an unaccompanied 11-year-old migrant with nothing but a phone and an address at the border. Joining us now is Texas DPS Lieutenant Chris Ola. LT, it's unbelievable, these videos you're sharing. In the picture, there seems to be a surge of migrants trying to get across before the crackdown comes with the incoming Trump administration.
Stupid administration is here.
Right. Good morning, Griff. So, of course, as you know, you've been out to the borders, for the past 4 years now, and even more recent. When you were down there at Eagle Pass, Texas, we talked about these issues. We talked about these concerns. Where even though the numbers may be low, we're not seeing these large groups anymore by the thousands. But we are still dealing with human smuggling. We are still dealing with those that want to evade capture and try to sneak into the interior. Either that's by being smuggled by human smugglers or trying to sneak in through private ranches where we're having to track, with our canines and our horse patrol over 10 plus miles, trying to locate these individuals that are trying to sneak in. So this is a real concern to us, especially as we approach January. I think the desperation is starting to settle in as many people that are trying to make their way to the United States, especially in Texas, really don't know what's going to happen. So we could see more of this human smuggling. We could see more illegal immigrants trying to sneak in and try to evade capture by circumventing checkpoints. But I think that video right there shows the hard work that our troopers do every single day and how they remain ready and how we are prepared for any type of surge, especially that we could see between ports of entry. But more so, focusing and trying to go after these human smugglers and rescuing children, and also trying to, avoid and deter any possible criminal activity at our southern border.
And it's people like AOC and Brandon Johnson that will say, oh, no, it's inhumane to deport people or to separate them from their families and stuff. We don't even know anything about these people. We don't even know if they related. We don't know nothing about them. We don't even know if they walking across the border with a coyote or a smuggler. We don't know nothing about these people, but we just let them play on our emotions to take advantage of taxpayers. And now we got to sit here and spend a whole lot of money in order to get them up out of here in the first place. How many more people got to die? How many more people got to suffer?
And LT, when I was with you just a few weeks ago in that Maverick County, you and I were out and we saw the smugglers really trying to find open areas where they might be able to get people across. And you were telling me then, which appears to still be the case, that smugglers are benefiting more than ever financially because they're charging more.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right now the human smugglers and criminal organizations in Mexico, I mean, they're using this messaging by the new administration, by these policies that are going to take effect, come January, using that to their advantage to increase their profits by charging double than what they would normally charge to get people across that border. So, it's a very profitable business now for these human smugglers. And I think we're starting to see more of these dangers as well as they smuggle, numerous people in vehicles, especially in some of these high-speed chases where they have no regard for human life. They have no regard for the motoring public as well. And that's a real concern to us as a police agency. But again, our troopers remain ready. We're going to continue to combat these, criminal smugglers and try to take away and remove these profits from them by trying to rescue some of these illegal immigrants that are being victimized by these human smugglers.
LT, when you and I were there as well, we had one group on one day come through that had migrants from Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, and Ecuador. And Tom Homan, the incoming border czar, yesterday, we talked about what to do with migrants from countries like Venezuela where they don't take them back. Here's what he said. Listen.
ICE officers across the country are prepared to go out and target public safety threats, but TDA is on top of that public safety threats. They're going to be arrested. They're going to be detained, and they're going to remove. I've been talking to several different countries. If Venezuela don't take them back, we got other countries who are stepping up and say they will.
That's news, LT, if other countries will take it in the event Venezuela won't. But just on what you're seeing where you are you seeing an increase from countries like Venezuela and South American countries that might not have repatriation agreements?
Well, we are, Griff. We are still seeing some from Venezuela, also special interest countries as well, as we talked about when you were there in Eagle Pass, Texas. But that's something we do start, we are seeing as well across the southern border in Texas. But I think, going back to what, the U.S. Incoming border czar Tom Homan said, I mean, I think the messaging itself really tells these other countries that, this new administration means business. And I think that's why many of these countries are starting to realize that they have no other option right now but to cooperate. I think that's why they're starting to now say that they're going to accept other migrants from other countries. So I think that's a big win for us. That's really going to deter the flow of mass migration taking place, because now we know that we can actually deport these migrants back to not only their home country, but to any other safe third country that's available. So that's a big win moving forward. Of course, again, they haven't even taken office yet. So I think we can see what's expected in the coming year.
Hopefully, Tom Homan and Trump doubles down and triples down on the border. We had record low migration, illegal migration into this country during the Trump administration. And hopefully they double down on what they've been doing, because we don't see, you thought I was going to do it on mute, didn't you? Aha.